I believe we are live. I'm not sure though. I'm talking to my chat, babe. Well, I'm not sure if I am actually live. Oh, I am talking to my chat. There we go. Right, let me post this on Twitter. And I guess just wait for people to come in. Okay, I need to turn on my, I need to connect my, let's go on the YouTube stream. Okay, 9 people watching. Okay, what the hell? Okay, we're already in there. So, I guess people start sending in your questions. Paul, morning mate, morning to you. Offside footy, thank you very much. Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out this streaming setup. I'm new to using OBS and all that stuff. So, yeah, we're getting there. We are getting there. So yeah, send in your questions, whatever they may be. I'll try to, you know, answer all your transfer dilemmas. I know, Paul, you probably don't have too many considering you're already ranked in like the top 10K already, so you're good to go there. But yeah, let's get those questions rolling in and I'll start answering them. So I'm actually just going to pull up the chat on my phone because that's probably the easiest way to do this, considering my my streaming device is it's a fairly new concept for me, I'll be honest, but we're getting there. First deadline stream, what can I say? Okay. Alrighty. Yeah, it looks like I'm just gonna have to get it and I'll put it on my other screen so you guys can't see me watching my own stream. Okay, sorry for the slow start. Here we go. Alrighty. Yeah, it looks like I'm just gonna have to. Alright, already getting a few questions in. And I'll put it on my other screen so you guys can't see me watching my own stream. Okay. Let's run through these. Okay. Sorry for the slow start. So, Razor says, "Hi, who do I bench? Robinson, Hall, or Gabriel?" That's a tough one. As you can see, I'm starting all three of them myself. Okay. All right, already getting a few questions in. If I had to bench one of them, so honestly, it might be Gabriel. I see goals in that game. I know Arsenal are technically the best defense in the league. Sorry for the slow start. So, you know, first for expected. Razor says, "Hi, who do I bench? Robinson, Hall, or Gabriel?" Villa can score. That's a tough one. As you can see, I would bench all three of them myself. Gabriel. Already getting a few questions in. If I had to bench one of them, so honestly, it's probably between Hall and goals in that game. I know Arsenal are technically the best defense in the league. Sorry for the slow start. I'm definitely going to start Robinson first for expected. Razor says, "Hi, who do I bench? Robinson, Hall, or Gabriel?" Villa can score horrendous. That's a tough one. As you can see, I would bench all three of them myself. And then already getting a few questions. If I had to bench or Murphy, I started Murphy. It's probably the Hall. I know Arsenal as the best defense in the league. I'm definitely going to start Robinson first for expected. Razor says, "Hi, who do I bench? Robinson, Hall, Gabriel." 83 says, "Hi, who are you captain?" I'm captain on Salah. I'll get more. I'll get into that. I'll get more when I start or Murphy. I started streaming. I said, "Why am I captain on Salah?" I was always captain on Salah. If you watched my video earlier this week, you saw that. Yeah, I was captain on Salah. I guess I'll say now. DRS Gabriel 83 says, "Hi, Twitter," because I made a post about this. I'm captain on Salah. I think he's the best captain. I was going to say more when I start or Murphy. Even before I started streaming, I
always this narrative that Brentford are good at home. It's all based off their attacking data. Like, I guess offensively they're ranked 15th for expected goals conceded, and they're ranked 4th when goals made at home, which is just a shock. They're more when forward left and right. Even then, like I said, it's always this narrative that Brentford are good at home. It's all based off their attacking data. Like, I guess offensively they're ranked 15th for expected goals conceded, and I think it's 4th when goals made at home, which is just a shock. They're more when forward left and Nathan says, hi mate, and then when I said, this narrative that Brentford are good at home. It's all based off their attacking data. I guess offensively they're ranked 15th says starting Colwell, I think if it's four, I would start at home. I'd start Salah. I think it's better to more when Nathan says, hi mate, and then when I said, that Brentford to start. Yeah, it's all based off their attacking data. Data has so good. I think if it's four, I would start offensively. I'd start I think it's better so I would say Nathan says, hi mate, and then when I said, yeah, he's a tough one. Yeah, it's between Hall and so good. So I would say Nathan says, hi mate, and then when I said, yeah, he's a tough one. Yeah, it's between Hall and I would probably start so good. I wouldn't sell him this week. Next time between Hall and maybe I would probably start I wouldn't sell him this week. Next time just Sar has that. I know the start I wouldn't sell him this week. My advice, Sar has that. I know the start I wouldn't they didn't have to do my advice, Sar has that. Don't know why you want that. I wouldn't they didn't have to do my advice, Sar has that. Don't know why you want that. I wouldn't they didn't have to do my advice, Sar has that. Don't know why you want that. They didn't have to my advice, Sar has that. Don't know why you want that. They didn't have to my advice, Sar has that. I want to figure it out. They didn't have to
I think that's fixed. I should have yeah. I'll keep sending you messages. Echo. Okay, here we go. Let me know if that's right. There's so many messages. I'm trying to get through all of them now. Okay, yeah, I'll keep answering it. It says hello, Oasis band. I think that's fixed. I should have okay, and then it says big Gabriel, Williams, Trent, Robertson, all starting. Let me know if that's out. That's fair. Like, there's so many messages. I'm trying to get through. That's okay. I'm sorry, it's a bit of an injury doubt, and like all those defenders are great fixtures. Okay, and then it says big Gabriel, Williams, Trent, Robertson, all starting. Let me know if that's out. That's fair. Okay, I get you. I get you. Yeah, maybe that's fixed it. And then my mate's messaging me, mate, your stream has a big echo. Okay, I've just got to figure out how to open up the chat in OBS now. Because it won't let me. So let me figure that out now. Okay. Open chat on OBS. Okay. View. Okay. We go view, chat. Okay, we got it. All good now. Okay. Thankfully, lads, we fixed it. Okay. Back to the transfer dilemmas. Let's get into it. So, who do I bench? Ahmad, Solanke, or Eze? Out of those three, let's see the fixtures coming up. Ahmad, Solanke, or Eze. I'd start Eze for sure. Now it's between Ahmad and Solanke. Everton are going to be tough to break down, and Ahmad did just score a hat-trick, so I'd almost bench Solanke there. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm just going through these messages. Everyone's saying the echo, but I think it's fixed now. Okay, good to see. So I'm just laughing at these messages. Okay. Let's go. I'm scrolling through these. Okay. Hi, I have Sar, Enzo, and Colwood, but only 2 free transfers and 1.9 mil in the bank. On the bench is Robertson, Semenyo, and João Pedro. So you want to get rid of... Do you want to get rid of those guys? I think I'd probably hold on to them for now, just because with Enzo it's a tricky one because Lavia is back. So I think we wait and see how he gets on with Lavia back, because that's when he was getting all of his attacking returns, was when Lavia was playing next to him. So Enzo can play more advanced. So I think I'd hold on to him for that. Okay. Horrible mushroom trip or bad audio? I think you're on mushrooms, mate. What do you think of Odegaard to Maddison? Saving some funds for next week too. I do think Odegaard's a sell. I actually like the Maddison punt. I know it's not like the X-Mins aren't great. Oh, that's Owen. All right, mate. How's it going? Yeah, I think Maddison's a good point. I think Spurs players are being overlooked slightly, but their fixtures are amazing. The thing with Spurs players is that it's just so hard to predict who's going to get the goals. You know, like it could be Son, Solanke, Johnson, Kulusevski, Maddison. But whenever he plays, Maddison's data is good. But that's the trick, isn't it? Whenever he plays, I think that's the big asterisk over everything. Okay. He's so locked in, he isn't reading the chat. Okay, we're back. Okay, Gakpo captain. Phew, that's a big shout. It's like being in a busy pub. I need a beer. Yeah, I feel that. Best Everton assets to look at for a double game week. Is it worth bringing in more than one Everton player? Already answered this. I think bring in 0 Everton players because they play Liverpool. That's their double. The double is that they get to play Liverpool at home. And yeah, I don't think Everton players are worth it just because they have an extra fixture. That's my view. Sean says I have Sarr, Enzo, and Colwill. Oh, I think I answered that already. Alex Young, Elanga or Gibbs White for a 1 week punt, please, sir. Honestly, Elanga's returns have been really nice, but his data hasn't been amazing. We were kind of talking about Gibbs White, a lot a few weeks ago, but at this point, I'd say the punt. Yeah, I'd probably still lean towards Gibbs White, even though Elanga has been getting nice returns. I think Gibbs White is more of he becomes the main man for Forest a lot of the time, after Chris Wood, of course. Okay, keeper sell Rico Lewis and Kirkez, and if I'd sell, for whom? I'd keep Rico Lewis just for this game week, and then after I'd ship him on. I'd keep Kirkez as well for a bit of the long run, because their fixtures, although the next 3 are tough, they do get nice after that. So I would sell Rico Lewis next week. Depends who you have in the rest of your defense. Obviously, I think the best strategy going forward is to have 1 Arsenal and 1 Liverpool. So get a, I would say next week you can go and get a Liverpool defender if you don't have one already. Owen Collins, we are so back. Yes, sir. Okay. Dalton N. Would you play João Pedro or take a -4 to replace Timber with Aina, Trent, or Rodgers with Ahmad/Elanga? Let me read that again. Would you play João Pedro or take a -4? So I'm not even going to read the rest of that because I'm such a believer in avoiding -4s. I've not taken one all season, and I hopefully won't have to at all. So yeah, I'd just play João Pedro. He's on penalties, and he's against Man United, who, they almost lost to Southampton if it wasn't for 10 minutes of Ahmad brilliance. So I wouldn't be worried about playing my attackers against Man United's defence, to be honest. Even as a Man United fan, I'll put my hands up and say that I go into every game with fear. Okay. Sam Maguire, bench 1 between Hall, Robinson, Gabriel, and Trent. Oh my God, that's tough. It's tough. It's between... Honestly, would I bench Gabriel? I think I would. To be honest. I really would like to start Hall and Robinson there. It's between Hall and Gabriel, because I'm definitely starting Robinson between those 3, and Trent, of course. But at the same time, Brentford can always score, but you're just not going to bench an asset worth, 7 mil, however much Trent is now. So I'd bench Gabriel or Hall. I'd probably lean towards benching Gabriel there. Do I get in Gordon for Bruno Fernandes? Yeah, I would do that, actually. I'm not a big believer in Bruno Fernandes. I know he had his best fixture was last week, and he got 2 points against Southampton, so, Gordon, he's been so consistent. I think he's returned like 8 game weeks in a row, so I'd go for Gordon, no problem there. Jamie Ridley, worth changing Raul or Pedro up to Wood? That's a tough one. I would say I'd probably go for João Pedro to Wood. I prefer Raul. Buy Konate when I already have Trent, or go for Nico Williams. Yeah, I like the double up. I said in my video this week, I like the double up on Liverpool assets for the double in Game Week 24, because it's kind of hard to predict which of the attackers will play, and I think Konate and Trent probably get the majority of the minutes in those 2 games. Keane Walsh, come on the town. Yes, lad. Anna says, bench 1 of Munoz, Hall, and Wissa. Already playing Semenyo. I would bench Semenyo over Wissa. Yeah, I think even though they played Liverpool, I think Wissa has looked so good, and Semenyo did obviously haul big last week, but in general his data over the past 5 to 6 game weeks has been pretty poor. Yeah, Jackson to Wood. In my video I did say hold Jackson for 1 more week, but I can definitely see why people would want to sell him to Wood, especially with this Southampton game coming up. For me, I just think that I think that Jackson has looked really dangerous, and for me the bigger concern is when the striker isn't getting any chances. That's definitely not the case with Jackson. He's getting so many chances. He's just not finishing them. So I'm going to give him one more week. If he doesn't return against Wolves, he's out my team. It's Chris Wood time, baby. Okay. Who to bench out of Gabriel, Munoz, and Hall? I bench Gabriel. What do you think of Foden as captain? Yeah, it's a good week to change it up again, same as last week. I just think Salah is the safe bet, you know. But I can definitely see I'm really happy to have Foden in my team this game week, and then he's out of my team next week, guaranteed. So yeah, maybe one last swan song if you want to captain him before you get him out. I can see that. So Harry Butt, didn't hear during the Echo Mate, but what do you think of benching Gabriel in favour of Hall and Munoz due to the Saliba injury? Yeah, that's a good point. And you already have Raya, so the double up is worth considering. You know, you have to take that into consideration. I definitely would bench Gabriel in favour of Hall and Munoz there. And great rank, by the way. You said you were like 23k or something. Good rank. Okay, Bruno to Gordon or Foden. Yeah, I'd go Gordon. Foden only has one good fixture, this one, and then they get tough. Start Gvardiol or Munoz? I would start Gvardiol there. He still looked very attacking, and he just hasn't been getting those returns. But I could see City wiping the floor with Ipswich here. They've been slowly getting back to themselves. Worth captain in Palmer with Salah vice. Yeah, I mean, it's between Salah and Palmer this week. For me, Salah is the best captain option this week. Okay. Ravinda says, I have Gabriel, Robinson, and Gvardiol starting. Should I go for Munoz or Sarr considering the flag? Gabriel, Robinson, and Gvardiol, good defense. Munoz or Sarr? Yeah, I actually would start Munoz over Sarr, I guess, with that flag. Yeah. Okay. Okay, there's actually a lot of comments coming in. Is there a way to see like Ed Gilmartin, where's Ahmad Pal, the 12-minute wonder? Yeah, I mean he's saved us once or twice this season, hasn't he? Okay. Let me get back up the chat because it's being a bit laggy. I'm not sure if I'm going to get to all these comments, but I will do my best. You know me. All right. Okay, why don't you have any Forest players, May? I've been asking myself the same question for weeks. It's just not worked out with my team in terms of getting them in at the right time. Yeah, I've missed a step with that one for sure. I wish I had some Forest players and some defenders, but I just look at my defense and I'm like, yeah, a Forest player would obviously improve it, but is it worth the free transfer? Because I see every transfer as like a -4, even when I'm not taking a -4. I just want to see that player come in and outscore the player that I took out by 4 points every time, and I just haven't seen that it's worth it so far. But obviously, hindsight, I should have done it a few times. I definitely should have gotten Milenkovic in for Castagne a few weeks ago. I was between those two, and I just went for Castagne to save a bit of cash. But I should have gone Milenkovic, definitely. Okay. I'm going to scroll up and see. Okay. Would you take out Odegaard for a hit? No, I wouldn't. I don't like taking hits, to be honest. I'd wait next week. You said for Gordon or Bruno. I would get Gordon in next week for Odegaard. Although when you think about it, does Gordon outscore Odegaard by 4 points this game week? He might do, you know. So if you want to go for it, I see the vision, but yeah, for me, I'm just a big, believer in not taking hits. Robinson or Cucurella? I would say Robinson. I did Enzo to Alanga, Henderson to Sells for a hit. Don't like double Palace defense. Yeah, I don't think a hit for a goalkeeper transfer is worth it, to be honest. I get that it's double Palace defense, but they have a good fixture, so I think it's could be a nice differential to have the double there. Bench one of Gabriel, Trent, Milenkovic, Anderson. I'd bench Anderson there. I have Gabriel, Robinson, and Gvardiol starting. Should I go for Munoz or Sarr, considering the flag? Munoz, I think I answered that. Should I do Timber and Raya to Gabriel and Sells? Timber and Raya to Gabriel and Sells. Seems a bit sideways to get like two Arsenal defenders out and one in. Yeah, I would keep Timber and Raya, to be honest. Do I get out Bruno for Gordon? Yeah, I'd do that. One thing to note is Southampton concede. Sorry, my chat just lagged as I was reading that one. One thing to note is that Southampton concede a lot on the right wing. Yes, definitely. Elanga plays right wing. Might be worth a punt if it is on one this week. Yeah, I think that's a good point. If you're going to punt this week, then Elanga... I like the way you're thinking, you know. I do like to consider where teams concede a lot of the time. I think it's an important piece of analysis, especially for captaincy when you're deciding between two captains. But yeah, Elanga in for a punt. He's been returning. I know his data hasn't looked amazing, but yeah, I think he's a good shout. I bench Hall for Munoz and Gabriel. Your opinion? Yeah, fair. I would start Hall over Munoz probably. I just think West Ham attack will be improved with Potter in charge now. So yeah. Jazz, bench Munoz or Castagne? I would bench Castagne. Sarr to Murphy. Yeah, actually, yeah, I haven't considered that myself. The only thing to note is that Newcastle, because they beat Arsenal 2-0 in the League Cup, they'll probably blank in game week 29, which means that Crystal Palace will also blank. So I guess you're just going from one Palace player to a Newcastle player, so it doesn't really matter, and you have lots of time to fix that. So Sarr to Murphy. If you don't really have someone to bench for Sarr, I actually quite like that transfer. Will Enzo, Sarr, and Palmer start? Mate, if I could tell you now, I'd be... Yeah, I would, but I don't know. I wish I knew. Hello, bench Trent, João Pedro, or Hall? I would bench... Out of those three, I'd probably bench Hall. Start with 3 of Robinson, Castagne, Kirkes, Lewis, or Gabriel. 3 of Robinson, Castagne, Kirkes, Luis. So I would bench, out of those 5, Castagne and Kirkes. Start 2, João Pedro, Semenyo, Munoz, or Enzo Fernandez. I would start... I'd start João Pedro, just because he has penalties. Then... Yeah, probably Semenyo. It's between Semenyo and Enzo. I think, yeah, Semenyo has looked a bit more dangerous. Nice jersey, Mondotown. Yes, Keane. Liam Kiernan, go on, lad. Any consideration for Captain and Foden? Mondotown. Yes, boys. Yeah, cheers for getting me this kit, Liam. Yeah, Captain and Foden, I was just talking about that. For me, he's in my team for one more week and 1 week only, because his fixtures turn to absolute shite after this. Let me show you. Like, okay, he has Ipswich next, but then look at that. Like, that's pretty poor. Sorry, I'll get that. Yeah. I mean, obviously, the fixture difficulty rating on the FPL website is only one thing to go by, but like Chelsea at home, Arsenal away, Newcastle at home, Liverpool at home. Spurs away is actually a good fixture for attackers, but then Nottingham Forest away. So yeah, for one last swan song, I get Captain and Foden. If you're on the same boat as me and want to get rid of him next week, I see it. Okay. Someone says, as a general strategy, is it better to make 3 to 4 transfers together, even if it means suffering rank drops overall, or making 1 to 2 transfers and not saving many free transfers in anticipation? I mean, it depends on your appetite for risk, you know. I think saving transfers is pretty important in the coming fixtures with the blanks, with the doubles coming up. That's what I would say. Start Murphy or Colwill? I'd start Murphy. Sarr to Ahmad. Yeah, I would probably prefer Murphy myself. If you already have him, then Ahmad would be between Murphy, Ahmad, and Elanga. If you do want to get rid of Sarr, in order, I think Murphy and then probably Ahmad and then Elanga. Mateta to Wood or Roll? I would keep Mateta. He plays West Ham this week, and they love to concede. So, excuse me. Start Colwill or Murphy? Murphy. Sarr to Ahmad or Murphy? Murphy. Okay, Luke, big dilemma this week. I think I answered this one, but I'll go again. Gabriel, Hall, Williams, Trent, Robinson, all starting. but on bench, Semenyo and Sarr. Yeah. I actually... No, I think that looks good, to be honest. Owen Collins, let's go, lad. Not specific to this game week, but factors in transfer plans. Does your assistant managership count towards your max 3 assets of a team, i.e. Liverpool? Yes, it does. So that's worth considering because, you know, you can only have 3 players at a time. So one of them will be Arne Slot if you get in, you know, if you want to have 3 Liverpool players, which you probably do for if there's a double or something going on and you're using your managership, you can only have 2 players and then Arne Slot. Okay. Sarr to Ahmad. Yeah, I like Ahmad. I prefer Murphy. Enzo replacement with 1 million in the bank. How much is Enzo? Off the top of my head, I think he's 5 mil. So you can go up to 6 mil. Yeah, I'd probably just go Jacob Murphy. Some rumors on Saliba being out. Yes, yeah, I saw that. 1 transfer and 0.4 in the bank. Go to Van Dijk. Yeah, I actually quite like that. I like that move. Yeah. With the double coming up, with Saliba, you know, in question. Yeah, I think that's a good shout. Okay, let me scroll back up. Mark Greenway, hello, currently 15k. Congrats, mate, that's great. Happy to find your channel. Well, thank you. Bench 2 are of Gabriel, Hall, Trent, and João Pedro. I would bench probably, I would say Gabriel and Hall there. Start Trent and João Pedro. Jake, bench 1, Gabriel, Robinson, and Hall. Gabriel. Start Colwill or Murphy? Murphy. Bench boost on Fabianski, Robinson, Milenkovic, and Pedro. Whew. Yeah, that's a nice bench, to be honest. To be honest, it needs more context because I also need to see the rest of your team. I'm just going to say, yeah, I like to bench boost on a double game week. That's just me. Just maximize the points, to be honest. I know people talk about, oh, then you're just planning all your transfers to get this bench boost, but it's worked for me in the past 3 seasons, and I got pretty good ranks the last 3 years. So that's my 2 pence on that. And Jay, would you take out Odegaard for a hit? I wouldn't. Not sure if you answered this, but Foden as captain, as a differential. Yeah, I mean, the captaincy is kind of up in the air this week. I think Salah's the best captain. I honestly don't think Foden is in my top 5 best captains this game week, though. But as a differential, listen, one last swan song before you transfer him out next week. Start Sarr and Murphy. Mateta to Wood or Roll. Keep Mateta. Would you buy Hall or Milenkovic this game week? I would buy Milenkovic. Want to make Hall or Robinson? Robinson. Start 2 of Munoz, Robinson, Pedro. I would start Pedro and Robinson. Do Southampton concede from set pieces? Mate, they don't concede from anything. Okay. Ahmad versus Pedro. Yeah, I'd probably go João Pedro. I know they're playing away to Man United, but it's a tough one, actually, to be fair. Just because he's got penalties, I would say start Pedro. Hey, play 2 of 3, Castagne, Hall, and Munoz. I would play Hall and Munoz. What do you feel on Sarr over Ahmad, says George. Worried about losing rank since Ahmad is the favourite this week since the hat-trick. Yeah, I mean, if you're talking about starting Sarr over Ahmad, I would start Ahmad. If you're talking about transferring, I would keep Sarr in just because his fixtures are much better over the next few. Bench 1 of Trent, Hall, or João Pedro. I would say bench... This is from Mark Greenway. Bench 1 of Trent, Hall, or João Pedro. I'd bench Hall there. Wissa or Ahmad to start. I would start Wissa. Play Pickford or Fabianski. Let me just see again who Everton play. I forgot for a second. They play Spurs. I would start Pickford. Just they've been a better defence than West Ham have. William R. I've got Smith Rowe and Heck on the bench in case Sarr and Palmer don't play. Would you take a -4 on any of those players? No, I wouldn't. I think that looks good. Starting Sarr just in case he does play. Yeah, I like that. I wouldn't take a -4. Do you think Trent is worth it over the other Liverpool defenders for the double game week? Yeah. I mean, if you can, it's a tough one because I probably wouldn't go out and buy him right now. Like I wouldn't go out and buy Trent right now. Excuse me, guys. If I was to buy a Liverpool defender right now, my rank would probably be Van Dijk, Konate, Trent. Just because Bradley's knocking on the door, isn't he? He's always knocking on that door, and Trent's performances have been put into question recently. So that's what I'd say. Sorry, I'm losing my voice. Do I bring in Pickford this week or keep Flecken and bring him next week alongside with Gakpo? Want a third Liverpool asset and unsure to go for Gakpo or Alisson? Yeah, I like waiting this week, and yeah, because obviously Everton play Spurs, so that's not an easy fixture. So I wouldn't want to bring in Pickford this week. Between Gakpo and Alisson, yeah, I mean, yeah, I'd probably, in my video I did say go double on the Liverpool defence for the double, game week 24. But at the same time, Gakpo's minutes have been pretty good, and it's the high risk, high reward play. And to be honest, I like Gakpo. So, as a bit of a risk taking manager, I would say go for Gakpo. It's more fun, isn't it? It's more fun than getting Alisson in. Go Gakpo. Have a bit of fun. Right, Robinson or Milenkovic? I'd start Milenkovic. Mark Greenway, no problem at all, mate. Thanks for the messages. Okay, do I start Sarr or Semenyo or João Pedro, or do I bring in a midfielder? I would start João Pedro there. Wood as captain differential, or just stick to Salah? Yeah, I like Wood as a captain differential. I just think his data, his underlying data, I mean, we keep saying this with Wood, you know, he doesn't get a lot of XG because he doesn't take a lot of shots. But when he does get a shot, he only needs one shot to score. If I was giving you advice, I would say stick to Salah. But I do get the captain differential. I think just having Wood is good enough because, you know, if Salah goes crazy and you didn't captain him, you'll be stressing. Ito says, hey, start Castagna or Colwill. I would start. Yeah, I'd probably start Castagna there and just hope that they play the 3-4-3 again with him as a wing back. And then Ahmad or Wissa. Yeah, I'd go for Wissa there, to be honest. I just like him. I like his data. I like the look of him when he plays. I love Brentford attack. Yeah, I think they'll score. Will you be free hitting in game week 24 or dead? Sorry, let me go back to that message. Gavinho. Right. I'm seeing a few familiar names here, which is nice. Okay. Gavinho 99, let's go. Will you be free hitting in 29 or dead end in your team? So I'll be... So when people say dead ending, I know not everyone knows what that means. Dead ending means if you have the idea to wildcard in, let's say, game week 30, you'll basically bring your team to a point in game week 29 where it would be awful if you didn't wildcard in game week 30. So you're only looking up to game week 29. All your transfers do not look past game week 29 if you were to wildcard in 30 in this case. So that's what dead ending means. For me, I'm going to try to manage without free hitting. I think there's a bigger blank game week coming up later in the season, according to Ben Crowlin, who's sort of the oracle on all this, how to handle the blanks and doubles. So yeah, I would say, yeah, I'm not going to use my free hit. I'm going to wait. I do have a lot of, as you can see, I do have quite a few, you know, Newcastle, Crystal Palace, Liverpool. I mean, I only have one Liverpool, but I am about to transfer into, which I'll get to my transfers soon, if you were wondering. But I'll keep going through your questions for now. Enzo replacement, 1 million in the bank. I would probably just go across to Jacob Murphy, but at the same time, I'd maybe give Enzo one more week and see how he plays with Lavia back in the team. Mikolenko or Aina? I'd start Aina all day. Would you start Sarr or Murphy? Murphy. Luke, must have missed you say it as Echo made me fizz out. Yeah, sorry about that, mate. Sorry about that. I was an absolute noob for the first like 20 minutes of this stream, echoing like crazy. Bruno to Savinho, or wait next week to get Mbuemo. I wouldn't get Savinho in. He only has one good fixture this week. I would get Mbuemo next week. Yeah, I really like that. And I'll be actually going Foden to Mbuemo next week. Spoiler alert. All things without any injuries considered. So, Gabriel or Lewis? That's tough, actually. I'd probably start Rico Lewis, mate. I just think that with Saliba potentially being out, makes Arsenal defence a lot worse. And Villa are no chumps in attack. We know this. And Man City are on the up. I think, yeah, give Lewis one more swan song and then I'd probably transfer him out after this game week. Should I do Virgil to Trent free transfer? Seems sideways. I always say like a sideways move is when you go from one player to another in the same team, obviously in the same position. Yeah, I would save that free transfer. Virgil's a great option. You know, he's guaranteed those 90 minutes. Zach Buckley, thank you. No problem, mate. Anytime. Yaz, which one do you prefer to start this game week, Gabriel or Robinson? I prefer Robinson. Who do you think is the best low price midfielder? Rogers, Ahmad, Sarr, Elanga, Iwobi, and Murphy. But for me, it's between Murphy and Rogers. Obviously, Rogers' next few fixtures are pretty tough if we have a look here. So he plays Arsenal. Sorry, only the next fixture. This fixture is tough. But then he plays West Ham, Wolves, and Ipswich. So I really like Rogers. I think he's probably the best one if I was to answer your question. Followed by Murphy because look at those fixtures as well. Bournemouth, Southampton. Then they do get a bit tough, but you know, if you can rotate him in and out even. Yeah. To answer your question, I quite like Rogers there. Okay. Let me get back to this chat and keep going through your questions, guys. Okay. Quack, quack. Armband on wood. Oh, that's from FPL Rubber Ducky. Quack, quack. I get it. Armband on wood. Fair play. Yeah. Love it. You've got a big set on you, Mr. Duck. Noah Blackwell. Need to bench one of these four. Mbuemo, Pedro, Elanga, and Ahmad. To bench one of these four, I'd start Mbuemo and Pedro. Between Elanga and Ahmad, yeah, I'd start Elanga. So I'd bench Ahmad out of all of those. Leo Frank got James Maddison a couple weeks ago, and he's stinking my bench. Thoughts on just moving him to Mbuemo? Yeah, Mbuemo's a much better asset. I know Spurs fixtures look good, but James Maddison's minutes are always up in the air. Mbuemo, he's a set and forget. Put him in your team and just leave him there for the rest of the season, probably. Ryan Bach, bench Trent or Gabriel. I bench Gabriel. Gautam, hey, play 2 of 3, Castagne, Hall, and Munoz. I would play Hall and Munoz. Ogus says, hello, who would you start, Mbuemo or Ahmad? I'd start Mbuemo. I know he's the tougher fixture, but he's just been so consistent. Jamie Ridley, Gabriel, Trent, Kirkes, Robinson. Who to drop to your bench, I'd imagine. I would drop Kirkes to your bench. João Pedro to Wood. Yeah, I quite like that move, to be honest. Boris. Jose, the special Mo Mourinho. Should I start 5 defenders? Robinson, Hall, Trent, Gabriel, Munoz. He has Salah, Palmer, Sarr, Mbuemo, Rogers, Isak, Wood, João Pedro. Let me think. I would start João Pedro over Munoz. So no, I wouldn't play. I would play the other 4 defenders if you want to. Actually, no, I'd bench Rogers too. So yeah, I'd probably bench Rogers and start João Pedro. Yeah, I wouldn't play all 5 defenders, mate. Just clean sheets are so hard to come by this season, which we've seen. Pickford or Sanchez? Sanchez, I'd say. Pickford play Tottenham and they know how to score. Emmanuel Anthony, Hall or Trent? I'd go Trent. Start one of Sarr, Semenyo or João Pedro? I would start João Pedro. Start Munoz or Gabriel? I'd probably start Munoz. No, I'd start Gabriel, actually. I'd start Gabriel. It's a tough one, but I'd start Gabriel even. Transfer in Mykolenko or Williams, given I already have Forest defence covered and Mykolenko has double game week. Transfer in Mykolenko or Williams. You already have Forest defence. Okay, you need the money. I get it. I'd go Williams. I do not believe in Everton defence. I'm sorry. I don't believe in Everton assets. I'll say it. I'll put my hands up, lads. I don't believe in. Transfer in Mykolenko or Williams. The answer is Williams. Okay, Nikesh says Jackson, Sarr. Sorry, I don't really understand this message. There's some Jackson and Sarr to Bruno and Raul. Okay, I get it. Yeah, -4. No, I wouldn't bring in Bruno, and I wouldn't be getting rid of Jackson or Sarr either. So no, I wouldn't do that. Start Robinson or João Pedro. João Pedro. Change Sarr. Chance Sarr gets a cameo and a 1-pointer. Not sure on starting him. Yeah, I'm worried about that too myself, to be honest. I want to keep Sarr. Yeah, I'm not sure. I haven't decided on what I'm doing. Like, I have him in my team starting right now. I could start Rogers over him, but Arsenal defence, we know how good they can be. Could also start Castagne, or I could just start Timber. Like, all these 3 I could bench for Sarr, and I probably will make a decision on that at some point. Sorry, let me scroll down so you can actually properly see my bench. Yeah, it's a tough one. I think there is a chance that Sar gets a cameo and a 1-pointer, but I think it's just such a good fixture. You could start him. I might actually just leave him in, mate. Sar, Semenyo, or João Pedro, bench 1. I would bench Sar there, just because he's a doubt. Robinson, Munoz, Hall, bench 1. I would bench probably Munoz. I think West Ham attack could be onto something with Potter in charge now. Okay, let me go back and see. We're almost getting there. The comments are still flowing in, so and ask your questions, guys. I'll try to get to all of them. Ogas, what do you think about McAllister? I know he's not a great FPL asset, but lately his data looks very good. Like you said yourself, I wouldn't go for him. There's much better Liverpool players to get, I would say, and you don't want it. You can only have 3 at a time, so that's my advice. I wouldn't go for him. João Pedro to Mateta and Enzo to Elanga. Yeah, I actually quite like those transfers. Yeah, Mateta's great fixture this week. Enzo, he's kind of been stinking it up a bit, and Elanga, he's been on fire. I quite like that, Trinesh. Alex De Silva, start Enzo or Rodgers, mate. I'd probably start Enzo. Home fixture, you know, he could be better with Lavia back. So you just got to hope that Lavia is back. Bench 1 of Gabriel, Hall, and Robinson. I would bench Gabriel. I'm hoping Jackson does well this week. It's hard keeping him in, isn't it? Yes, I feel your pain there. I feel your pain. If he doesn't return this week, he's in the bin. Diaz or Gakpo for the good run of fixtures. I quite like Gakpo, just based off the minutes, and he's been quite consistent. Is Strand Larson and Colwill to Wood and Trent good, or should I look at a different Liverpool defender? Yeah, I actually do like that. Strand Larson and Colwill to Wood and Trent. I mean, if you have other plans to upgrade other parts of your team and you don't want to spend all that money on Trent, I do get that. I'd probably actually go Virgil instead of Trent if you are looking for another Liverpool defender. I'd go for Van Dijk. But I do like the transfers. Strand Larson and Colwill out. I think it looks good, mate. Start Timber or Rodgers? Let's start Rodgers. Play Robinson or Munoz? I'd play Robinson. Start 2 of Robinson, Munoz, or João Pedro. I'd start Robinson and João Pedro. Hall, Rodgers, João Pedro, Muniz. Who to start? João Pedro. Okay. Going to scroll back up and answer your questions. Actually, we have 10 minutes to go, so lads, I'm actually gonna wait. Some amount of you boys have Sar, says Owen Collins. Yeah, I think a lot of people have him, and a lot of people are stressing about what to do with him, which is fair enough. So let's just have one last quick look at Twitter to see if there's any team leaks, because you never know. We have 10 minutes to go to the deadline. Okay, no Saliba in Arsenal squad today. I don't know if that's confirmed. But that was 1 hour ago, so I don't know how reliable this account is. Any leaks? That's a good gif. Okay. Yeah, it doesn't look like much. Isak, Schär, and Murphy with the squad. I don't think there was any doubts there, to be honest. Szoboszlai starts, although that's 14th of Jan, so we're going back there a bit. That's from the last game week, lads. Ignore that. Yes. What I will say, and I think this is a great account, is Emma at Jump the Wave. She compiles all these predicted lineups. So if we go quickly, I'll just show you what people are saying. Apparently, Palmer has a good chance of starting, but these are the ones that I like. So Saliba apparently has a 100% chance of starting, but this was posted yesterday, so maybe before that news came out. And a more interesting one, everyone probably wants to see about Palmer. 85% chance of starting. I think he'll start, and I'm going to keep him in my team. I just won't be captaining him this game week. You guys can all see that, yeah. Okay. Liverpool predicted lineup. Yeah, I think this is actually pretty interesting. We have Gakpo 100% to start, and then Luis Diaz 70%. So, yeah, that's one to keep an eye out for. I mean, Liverpool lineup, you never know who's going to be starting up top, to be honest. Man City, Man United, Newcastle, we can all kind of predict what those are going to be. There was no Crystal Palace one here, was there? But maybe it was up a bit. No Crystal Palace commentary, unfortunately. So we don't know about Sar. Yeah, I mean, let me just put it in here and see what we get. Yeah, same as what we know. I don't think any more information is gonna come out on Sar. So at this point, what I'll do is I'll show you guys my plans. Let me just get this up here. So I actually have a quick little summary, which I'll show you. My transfer plans. And I'm going quite aggressive. So at this stage, lads, sorry, that went missing. My rank isn't great, and I expect more from myself, I'll be honest. So I need to be a bit more aggressive. I think I've been pretty passive the past while. So what I'll do is I'll show you first of all how I'm lining up. I'll get rid of the sticky there. So this is actually how I'm lining up. What I'm likely to do this game week, lads, is João Pedro to Gakpo, because he has those nice fixtures coming up. Plays Brentford. I know that's red here, but for attackers, it's actually not. It's a good fixture for attackers is what I mean by that. Then he plays Ipswich, and then he has the double. So, I quite like the look of that. And I also think I'm getting rid of Timber, because I need to afford, as you can see, let me just remove him there. I'm short 0.4 mil there. So I'm going to get in Konate. And then I'm actually just going to bench him this game week. I know it sounds ridiculous, but yeah, I'm going to bench him. And the question of who to start over Sar or Castagne or Rodgers even. Yeah, I mean, the thing is that I like to think about is I have Gabriel, right? So if I start Rodgers, I'm basically saying, I think Rodgers is going to score or do something. Then why would I play Gabriel? It's all about maximizing your points here. So I think that the smart move, it's riskier. It's obviously riskier. I could play Rodgers and Gabriel, and let's say Rodgers scores. It's like, okay, well, at least I had him in. Gabriel obviously won't get a clean sheet, but maybe he'll get an attack and return. You could think about it like that. The way I like to think about it is, if I am starting Gabriel, I don't want to start an Aston Villa player. I want to maximize my points. So yeah, I think I'll start Sar against. I think I'll keep Sar in, because it's between Sar and Rodgers. I know I've just brought Konate in to bench him, but hear me out, lads. Hear me out, because next week he plays Ipswich at home and Robinson plays Man United at home. So I think Man United will score there. And like I said, this is Foden's last game week. This game week, not in game week 23 here, in game week 22. His last game week in my team. So I'm really excited to bring this lad back into my squad. It's Mbuemo. He is back with a bang. And I'm probably going to bench Jackson here, unless Jackson stinks it up and I just go for Chris Wood. But we'll see, because I actually do kind of want to hold on to Jackson, especially for this little tasty little fixture run. So that's my thinking there, right? So I'll keep him there. And then the next game week, I'd just roll, because my team looks quite good. I could start Jackson again. Sorry, my brain was lagging there for a second. And I have 3 doublers, and I quite like these 3 doublers, to be honest. Konate and Gakpo. Yeah, I like it. I like the look of that. Then the following game week, we will know who blanks and who doubles in 29 and 33 respectively. We'll know that by game week 25. So this is important, because then we can kind of figure out what we want to do with our, if it's probably going to be Newcastle and Crystal Palace assets, and then whether it's, Liverpool, Aston Villa, whoever the other teams are that I'm forgetting right now. But I think the likely 4 teams to blank, based off all the bookies odds, are they still think that Liverpool will beat Spurs in the second round of the quarterfinals for the League Cup. Which means that, based off their predictions, Newcastle, Crystal Palace, Liverpool, and Aston Villa are all the most likely teams to blank in double game week 29 and to double game week 33, just based off the fact that they think they'll make it to the semi-final of the League Cup. So this is I'm only going to look up to game week 25. After that, I do have these transfer plans. As you can see, we'll know who doubles. Game week 25, I can do Castagne or Konate back to Timber. I know I'm just getting him out, but I don't lose any value on Timber, because His price hasn't changed since I got him in. And I wouldn't be playing him for any of the fixtures, even if I had him. You know, I wouldn't really want double Arsenal defence until I get to this game week when they play Leicester and then West Ham. So I probably want another Arsenal defender in, and we know that they are unlikely to blank in game week 29. So that's my plans now. I'm going to go ahead and make the transfers before it's too late. So let me go ahead and do that. Timber out, João Pedro out, Gakpo in, and Konate in. Okay, that's it. Yeah, make the transfers. Let's go. So line up like that. Yeah, what do you guys think? I like it, to be honest. Yeah, and I'm gonna captain Salah. I always was gonna captain Salah. For those who are just joining the stream, I'll show you this tweet again why I'm captaining Salah over Palmer. There's two reasons. Well, there's a lot of reasons actually, but the two big ones is that Palmer's an injury doubt, and then Salah plays a bad defense. Like I've said this already, this narrative that Brentford are good at home, it's all based off their attacking data. Defensively, they rank 15th in expected goals conceded, and they have the 4th most goals conceded at home. This is their home data, you know? So people have this narrative, oh, they're really good at home. They love to score at home, and they love to win games, but defensively, they're still poor. So, yeah, Captain Salah, if you have him, that's my advice. Don't come knocking at my door if he blanks like he did last game week. But, yeah, that's what I'll say for now. Yeah, deadline is among us, lads. 1 minute to go, so get your transfers in. Get your transfers in if you haven't already. And yeah, everyone, good luck this game week. Let's read the last few comments before someone says quickly, Ahmad or Wissa. I'd go Wissa. Get that in. Fabianski or Verbruggen? Probably, I don't even know who Brighton play. Who do they play? Man United. I'd start Fabianski, mate. Yeah, Owen Collins. I like it too, mate. Good luck. Well, not too much good luck because we're in the same mini league. So I wish you a bit of luck. You know, maybe hopefully you'll come second by the end of the year. Although it's quite competitive this year. I'll show you guys quickly our little mini league. Don't ask about the name of the league. I'm not even top. Yeah, our friend Paddy O'Callaghan is top. Too easy. But we're all climbing. Yeah, Owen, you've got a bit of fighting to do, mate, but I believe in you. You're watching the stream, so I can see you climbing back. You know, you're getting the insider info. So, but so is I'm pretty sure most of the lads here. Ed's been in the chat too, so he's also getting the insider info. But yeah, it's a good league, and actually another interesting one. One of our mates. Oh, it's gone. I can't show you. Basically, I was going to show you one of my mates from school. Me and Paddy's best mate, Honman. He was like second in Ireland a few weeks ago. I think he's still up there. I know he's like 500th in the world right now. That's Honman, Owen, if you didn't cop that. So, yes, lads, the team is looking good. I got a fright here. I just saw this is a previous tab that I hadn't refreshed yet, and I was like, wait, João Pedro's still in my team. What's going on? Yeah, I definitely transferred him, and you guys all saw I did. So, whew, got a bit of a fright there. But yeah, successful stream. Let me go to the chat now and see if any of you guys have any post-deadline questions. Yeah, I think it's too late now, lads. Sorry about that. You probably are all dipping, which is fair enough. But thanks so much for joining the stream. Yeah, this is the first time I've done it, and yeah, it's quite. I mean, I didn't get to answer all your questions. Really, sorry about that. But next time I'll be more on the ball, and we can start it earlier and get some of your questions in. So. Yeah, appreciate you guys showing up, showing out, and good luck this game week. Let's all smash it and hope that Salah captainers come out on top. If you captain Palmer, sorry. I think Salah's the one to go for, but I would not be surprised to see Palmer start first of all, and then Palmer to score, 3 or 4 goals. He can do that against anyone, especially against the lower teams. To be honest. Yeah, no, I'm not getting any regret now. Post-deadline regret about not captaining Palmer. No, I've been happy about captaining Salah all week. But yeah, I'm going to wrap it up now, folks. Yeah, thanks for showing up and showing out. And yeah, until next time, have a good game week and good luck.